Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and today we're going to be talking about his new transcript that recently came out from the Dormoy podcast talking about Henry Cavill in regards to the Witcher series, when he was trying to basically stick to the source material. We got words from the people who were writing it or directing it talking a bunch of crap about this man because he wanted to stay true to the source material. But before we get into that, we're gonna first bring up the fact that Henry Cavill is able to bring his dream to life by working in the Warhammer universe in live action. He's a huge nerd like everybody else. He loves Warhammer, he loves building PCs, and he loves the Witcher franchise. Well, we got this over on Henry Cavill's Instagram, saying, for 30 years I've dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now, after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel that I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso, which I believe is his girlfriend, at Vertigo, has been a blessing beyond words. Without her, we might have found the perfect home at Amazon. And having a home like Amazon will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer. To all you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP, unlike The Witcher that they didn't respect, but he wanted to respect it, that we love. I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavor to bring you something fantastic that is as of yet unseen. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker, creator, and writer. Watch this space, my friends, for the Emperor, hashtag Warhammer, and he's tagged the Warhammer official account, Amazon Prime, Natalie Viscuso, and hashtag Vertigo. But if you guys, just a quick refresher as to how much he respects fans when it comes to franchises that he loves. Let's take a listen. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit so we can listen to Henry Cavill talk about quote-unquote toxic fans.
There's something really interesting with this character that I find fascinating, which is that he genuinely really does just want to do the right thing. But everywhere he goes, whether it's a new town or a new bar, people just kind of give him a hard time and they rag on him despite the fact that he has great intentions. I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
There's something really,
and I feel like he's gonna bring that same. I feel like he's gonna bring that same energy to Warhammer, just like he's done with every other project he's been a part of. Especially since he just recently lost the chance to become Superman again. And this was actually a Facebook message from Zachary Levi saying, "Hope to catch you in another universe, sir." Oh, it's an Instagram post. I'm sorry, I said Facebook. But we're gonna actually go through this right here, which is what the main topic of the video is from this podcast, talking about how Henry Cavill was on the set of The Witcher. Quote, I recently got this message and somebody was like, do you want to know what really went down? And I was like, sure, so let me just read it. It says, quote, at the beginning of the show, Henry was good to work with. A lot of unusual demands that made people feel like he wasn't really a team player, but that it's not unusual for a big star. More than likely, the unusual demands were to stick to source material because Witcher is his second favorite franchise after Warhammer, of course. Though in TV, it usually doesn't happen until the second season. But in season 2 and 3, something shifted and he became really impossible for women to work with, which was always a big problem. Oh yeah, because he's masculine. Oh my god, he's not a soy boy. But even worse here, because the showrunner is a woman. Who cares? The showrunner could be a woman and the show could absolutely suck. That's probably the main reason why there was more of Ciri than there was of Geralt of Rivia. The show is called The Witcher, not Ciri. No one cares. I understand Ciri's an important character to this franchise, but she's not the main character. People are watching The Witcher for Geralt of Rivia, not Ciri. He would try to overrule her and try to get changes made last minute across the board without her knowledge, which, if you know anything about show running, is completely fucked. No, it's not, especially when you're dealing with an important IP like The Witcher, a very group of passionate fans who read the books and played the games are a part of. The showrunner has to sign off on every minuscule detail down to the buttons on a costume. Female writers and directors were suddenly completely ignored on set, unable to do their jobs. Every department head was... I can't read that. Complaining. Oh my god, because the guy who's passionate about a franchise you're working on wants to give his criticisms. He started making comments. It wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't grabbing anyone or being lewd, but it was disrespectful and toxic all the time. Yeah, because that's the fake ass word that these people like to use now when a guy acts masculine. It's toxic. It's toxic. We need to stop using that word in 2023. He's deeply addicted to video games to the point where it was like working with any other addict. He was distracted, he was late, he was obsessive, and a lot of people think that the misogyny came from the gamer world. Oh my god. Again, another word we need to stop using. Stop using this word misogyny. You don't know what it means. Please fucking stop. Video game bro language is not how you talk to coworkers, and he wouldn't stop. Someone on the show compared it to watching get brainwashed. Someone get brainwashed by QAnon. Like, his whole personality shifted. Eventually, his disrespect escalated. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt he was disrespecting anybody on set. I'm pretty sure that's a bull-faced lie. He would rewrite scenes without even alerting the other actors in the scenes until it was time to shoot. He decided that he didn't want any romantic scenes at all. No kissing, no shirtless scenes, etc. I would say the only shirtless scene allowed would be the tub scene, because it's part of the game. He wanted complete control of storylines, but really had no idea of the limitation of TV structure, budget, etc. It's Netflix. You're pretty sure you don't really have that small of a budget. Pretty sure it's a pretty big budget for a Netflix show. He formed a weird alliance with one writer who was also a gamer who eventually got fired after multiple HR complaints were made. None of that came out, so no, we really don't know what this is. And after that writer left, Henry did anything he could to hold the production and cause problems. I'm pretty sure he didn't, because we already know in the past that the people who are writing The Witcher do not care about the source material or the lore of the series, so we all know that's garbage. Eventually, Top Brass and Netflix was tired of him, costing them money with delays in HR investigations, and the showrunner was asked to construct a potential exit for him. Netflix reached out to him personally, and he was given one final warning and violated that warning with an email he sent to the entire writing staff. Right after that meeting, that was it. So now we really know why Henry Cavill was removed from The Witcher and replaced with Liam Hemsworth. Like, anybody really gives a shit about Liam Hemsworth. The only thing people really know him as is the brother of Chris Hemsworth, who's a much better actor, and being the boyfriend, or maybe ex-boyfriend at this point, of Miley Cyrus. Like, no one gives a shit about that chick either. But the fact that these people just don't understand a man who's passionate about an IP and don't want to work with someone who's passionate about an IP, similar to how they didn't want to work with Christopher Tolkien on The Rings of Power, which is why that show was a complete failure, because they don't want to work with people who know the canon, who know lore about what the IP they're working on. They want to discard that, push that to the side so they can pretty much do whatever they want, and putting in their woke trash and intersectional feminism to their show to try to push a narrative. And it's like, you're working with an established IP. No one would care if you did it with something original. And you know damn well if you did it that way, no one would care, no one would watch it. But you're trying to do this with an established IP. You have a very passionate person who's working on an IP that he's very passionate about, and you want to not listen to him. You want to just go off and do your own bullshit, and you want to essentially kill your show, which is what you have essentially done with The Witcher. You've killed the show. Now, you've definitely killed any interest in it because Henry Cavill is no longer there. Similar to how James Gunn has recently killed any interest in DC because they got rid of the perfect person to play Superman in Henry Cavill, just like they got rid of the perfect person to play Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. And no one's going to care. And your show is going to die, and your show is going to get canceled. And for DC, no one's going to care to watch their properties any longer. that'll be all for today, everyone. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking it out. If you did like the video, do hit the like button. Comment below what you think about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications and set it to all. That way you get notifications every time I post a new video. And as always, I will see you all on the next one. Peace.